Hello guys, this is Kazra bringing you another little review. This time we're proceeding with the German medium tanks. Since we did the Panther, we did the Panther 2, we did the Indian Panzer. Now it's finally time to do the review of the E50 because I think I have a feel that I had quite a decent number of games. 41, almost 42,000 experience worth of games with this with its Top Gun, and I think I have a brief understanding of how to play this because I have good games. So, let's start out by saying this is the Tier 9 German medium tank on the line to the E50M. So the old medium line, which was one of the better medium lines, but now with the introduction of the British, of the Chinese, and the second medium line for the Russians and Germans, it's lost a little bit of its shine. It's still a great tank. Those are still great tanks, but they just lack that versatility that the new tanks have. For example, the British and the second German line on Tier 9 already get the Tier 10 gun, which is a great advantage for them. But yeah, let's go into this tank. So E50M, with the introduction of 8.9, it actually got changed as well as the 75. But we'll get to that in a second. So hit points 1750, which is, let's just compare this to my other Tier 9 medium tanks. Let's just disable this. The Centurion 7-1, which has 30 HP less, and the M46 pattern, which has 50 less. So it's not that great, not that strong. It has a little bit more HP, but that's about it. 63 tons with a 900 horsepower engine, and this is the biggest change that was introduced in 8.8 or 8.9. Actually, I don't remember which patch it was. 8.8. The biggest problem is they nerfed its engine. It no longer has the engine the E75 had. Let's just show you the E75, because the whole idea behind the E-series, it's an actual project. It's paper, but it's an actual concept that the Germans thought to make tanks that have accessible parts, you know, that can interchange parts between themselves. And the E75 got hit by the nerf also. They had Wargaming didn't know what to give them, so they had a mystical unicorn engine, which only now we can find on the Tier 10 versions. There's the Maybach HL236, which has 1200 or 1200 horsepower engine, which is just tremendously powerful, and those tanks had it. The E75 and the E50 had that engine, and it really pushed the tanks quite fast. It allowed for almost 20 to 1 ton ratio, 20 horsepower to 1 ton ratio, which gave you an amazing acceleration with this tank. Now it's a bit slower, it just suffers from being slower than it was. Also, they did some shenanigans with the gun mantlet and the whole turret, so now the E50 wasn't known for being penetrated very easily, but now they make it smaller, so now you can penetrate this part easily, but we'll go to that in a second. The tank has a 60 horsepower speed limit, which is quite nice, but you will have problems reaching that top speed. You will be around 50, 55, but you need a long stretch of land to get to there. 32 traverse speed on the tracks and 30 to the traverse speed, giving us a combined of 62, which is very nice. We like it. And also I want to point out that this tank is quite heavy. 63 tons for a medium tank, that's a lot. You have heavy tanks that weight less, and if I recall correctly, yes it does. The E5, the American Tier 5, Tier 10 heavy tank is lighter. The M103 is lighter. The T-34. That's more heavy. That's because of the turret. So you have a bunch of heavy tanks which will weight less than you, which is great. So we have that weight advantage. Now let's go into... Well, we have 400 view range, which is quite good and average on tier 9 medium tanks and 710 signal range, which is basically as everyone else. So we have that. Let's go into the armor because it's something funny about it. It's 150 in the front, 80 in the sides and 80 in the back, and 185 and 80 respectively for hull and turret. So turret, this part on the turret, which is just slightly sloped, has 185 millimeters of armor. That means that most tier 8s can go through this without a problem. Size, paper thin, 80 is nothing to brag about. But what I wanted to tell you about white trollish armor. This is known for being quite a sturdy son of a bitch. That's because if you will hide your lower plate, which is gigantic, and I'm gonna give you a good example what has that kind of a lower plate. And it's gonna be, you know, I'm gonna do that especially for you to notice this is a big medium tank. Do you see the difference? Cause yeah, it's the same hull. It's the same hull as the E75. You have another turret, but the hull is exactly the same. Exactly. That's why it weighs so much, because only the turret is different. That means that this little piece of armor, the upper frontal glacis, which is now, you know, position, it's the lower glacis has been dragged up. It was way lower ended, so it was easier to neglect that huge advantage of shooting it. But if you can hide it, this thing is angled so steeply and has 150 millimeters of armor. That means this tank from front, if you're not shooting the turret or you're not shooting the lower plate, is one of the most heavily armored tanks in the game. If you can make it so someone shoots you in the upper plate, he will bounce every single shot. Just like the A75, which is known for its tremendously good armor. The difference is that this has a proper gun mantlet and a proper turret front, and the E50 doesn't. So that's a downside for that. So armor, yeah, it can be great at times, but most people know where to shoot a E50, so they will know where to shoot you. As for side scraping and tricks like that, I wouldn't recommend it particularly, but I do it a lot myself. So from one side I would say like don't do it, but it's a valid strategy. I use it and sometimes it pays off. It's just the sides are a little bit too weak, but they can still, you know, bounce some random shots. Not like a Yakman Z100 shot, but, you know, shots from tier 8s, tier 9s. Even tier 7s, because you're gonna be meeting tier 7s. So let's go into the gun, the most important thing in the tank. 6.25 fire rate, 220 millimeters of penetration on average shots, 270 on premium shells, that's tier 10 penetration right there. 390 average damage on both shells and 510 on HE, which has 60 millimeters of penetration, meaning you shouldn't shoot it at all. A 0.3 accuracy, which was one of the best accuracy in the game now after the introduction of the Waffenträger E100. It's second to it. Only other tanks that have this kind of accuracy is the FV4202, the Leopard 1 and this. And that's it. Nothing else has 0.3 accuracy. 2.1 aiming time, quite a long aiming time, but still you can make it work. So this gun actually makes the tank. Why I say that? Because you get a large selection of guns. You start off with the 7.5 KWK 42 L-70, which is the gun that you get from... Basically, this is the gun you have to play on the 3001 DB, the old 3001 DB, which is horrible. 150 millimeters of penetration is on tier 9. Sorry, on tier 9 is horrible. Then you get the long 88, which you're gonna have to stick with, because the other thing that you can have is the Panther's gun. So honestly, you get a selection of the Top Gun of the Panther, the Top Gun of the Panther 2, EA Tiger gun, and then you have two unlocks. You have the 8.8 L100 and the 10.5 L52. As you can see, I have the 10.5 because it's an obvious choice. It's an increase in damage, in penetration, in reload. Just it's way better than the 8.8. Some people think that the 8.8 can be walked with, but honestly, you get the same kind of penetration. You get a way higher rate of fire. That's roughly half of the half. Well, half? No, that's like what, 1/3? Yeah, it's 1/3 faster, and you get 150 damage less. I wouldn't say it's better. That's my personal opinion. I'm gonna unlock the gun, but after I get the E50M. I'm just gonna unlock it, you know, so I can say that I have E50 alighted. So as the gun selection goes, it's really annoying when you start off with this tank, cause you have to get the tracks. You're gonna have the engine if you have the E75 or something else, maybe. Auf something Panther, and that's actually the thing that give. Oh my god, they didn't. Oh, really wargaming. Yep, wargaming messed up. Those engines were interchangeable between tanks. That was the whole fucking point of the E-series. Now they changed it, so it has the engine of. Where's the tremendously stupid thing? Here it is. If you have this has the engine. And this is the only tank in the game that has the same engine as the TM. So if you went through the Auftuts Panther, going to the Indian Panzer, you're gonna have the glorious engine on this tank. If not, you're in for 24,500 grind to get the top engine, which is a quite significant improvement of 200 horsepower. So yeah, tracks, engine, radio, God forbid. Yeah, you have to have the radio, there's no way. It's just so many vehicles have this radio that it's impossible. Then you have to go to the turret, and then you have to go to the gun. That means you have another 23,000, 23.6, and then the magical 60 almost. That's almost... That's not almost, that is above 100,000 experience to grind out on this tank. I already researched, I don't know if it shows somewhere. No, I don't think it does. Maybe in the service record we're gonna have the total amount of experience accumulated on a given tank. Let's find the E50. I played 132 games and I still didn't get my ace tanker, which is glorious. Experience, that's the average. What's the maximum? Nope, there's nothing like that. So we won't know. Oh, that's a nice thing. I didn't saw it earlier. So you're gonna have to grind out a shit ton of experience to light this tank, and I'm not gonna fool you. It's gonna be tedious. After the Panther 2, which was after it was completely unlocked, it had its good sides and bad sides, and you guys can watch the Panther review. This was a little bit of a disappointment. But it started shining when I got the engine, I got the turret, I got the tracks, and I got the gun. When you have this gun, this tank suddenly becomes viable. It's an improvement to the Panther in every single sense of the word. There's nothing that this tank does worse than the Panther. It does everything better, it has every stat better, and it's a way even better rammer than the Panther. And the E50M is an improvement to the Tier 9 in every single respect. You get a Tier 10 gun, which has 270mm of penetration. Remember, I said it. I said, you know, Tier 10 penetration back when we talked about the gun? Yeah, this has it. And it's the same gun, that's the most funny part. It's the ALF K, so it's just changed, but I don't know what they made between ALF B and ALF K. Then suddenly it got 50 more penetration. But we're not going to complain now, are we? Same turret armor, same armor all around, but it's just faster because of the engine. It has the same power, it's same weight, better gun, and I just don't see it being worse in any kind of sense. It has better traverse speed on the tracks. It's just so, it's gonna be so sweet. So, but let's go back into the garage and let's talk about equipment and consumables. Consumables is a normal rack, but I have a premium fire extinguisher, automatic fire extinguisher, since this tank likes to catch fire as all Germans. So I prefer to carry a premium fire extinguisher on my German tanks. As for equipment, vertical stabilizer, medium caliber gun tank rammer, and improved ventilation class 2. You could go for something of the likes of coated optics or enhanced gun laying drive, but I prefer the vertical stabilizer because with medium tanks I like to be on the move. I like to move around, I like to shoot people from the sides all while moving, so vertical stabilizer on medium tanks is a okay idea. This is a little bit more of a sniper, but you will have situations when you're gonna go ram someone in the face and you're gonna enjoy every single moment of it. For crew, the typical medium tank crew, honestly. Repairs, I would say, come in second, third skill. If you can broaden arms on everyone, of course. Commander, Sixth Sense, Snapshot, Smooth Ride, Situation Awareness, and Safe Stowage. Those are the first skills for everyone. Safe Stowage isn't that important. You can see it's my second skill and I'm just skilling it up and I don't really care because it's not that important. As for second skills, controlled impact. Go for controlled impact. I kid you not, you will have tremendous fun with this tank. You can watch my other videos that I had with the E50 and you will see that I am capable of inflicting serious damage to people with ramming. Or you can check out the live stream. If I play the E50 and I have a Type T54 in front of me, I know that if I'm on full speed and he's not gonna run away, he's in for 900 damage by ramming, and I'm gonna get like 200, and I can finish him off with one hit from my cannon. That's how awesome the ramming is with this tank. You can ram a KV-4, and maybe some of you don't know what a KV-4 is, but I highly doubt it. And I have done it. It's not like I'm throwing suggestions or things like that. This tank weighs 97 tons. I have control impact almost finished. When I rammed a KV-4 with the E50, I inflicted 600 damage to him and 300 to myself. You will do damage to tanks that weight more than you. You can ram anything. Shy of only one thing that I am scared to ram, but that's because that thing fucking weighs 200 tons almost. Don't ram a mouse and don't run an RU-100. Just don't. Don't. It can be fun, but don't. You're gonna bounce off. And the Ep.16 E100 I'm guessing also weighs like a billion tons. Yeah, 130, so also not a very good idea. Waffentractor also. The Waffenträger. Oh, he weighs 100, so yeah, ram him. If you have the opportunity, ram him and kill him. Kill him with fire. So yeah, for crew skills, I highly recommend you get controlled impact because it really makes a difference with this tank. But that's enough for the garage review, let's go watch some games. So here you have the first bit of gameplay. We're playing on Port map. And we are already with the 1005. Because I actually have to check. Let's look what we can do. You can see the speed of this tank. It's fast, but it very slowly reaches that speed. It takes a lot of time to get to the speed where you want it. So I'm going to the middle of the map. And now, can we? Yes, we can. Willkommenstreffer. And this type completely didn't know what to do. So I aimed for his engine, but wasn't able to. Now I see object 268, so no object, no. I should have shot him at the frontal wheel, but you can see now this was a good instance that side scrapping actually works, but that's a low caliber shell that he's firing at. A T-54 has 170mm of penetration, I think, so it's nothing to brag about that I would be scared of. Now I track him to maybe help my teammates out, and try to relocate because I see a lot of enemies are coming out that way, and they will have very good shots on me. And I don't want to be forward. Or face backwards towards them. IE-100 going on the bridge is quite stupid. Dash brave. So we're just walking around. You can see that really the turning speed, the mobility of the tank is decent, but it just lacks that acceleration. It lacks that go-to. Like the Patton, like the FV, they have amazing acceleration but not very high top speeds. This has a very high top speed, but it doesn't get amazing acceleration, so it's, you know, it's balanced in that way. But if you get this up to speed, it really can be a tremendous factor of fear into the enemy eyes. If you go with a E50 straight forward towards most people, the first thing they will try to do is hit your tracks. I take a very bad shot on a T-30. The E100 bounced his just what? That's a TD, tier 9 TD shell that he just soaked up. And I'm waiting for his hatch to show, but I didn't even see the hatch, I just took the shot. And now we have a Jagdtiger. I do a very bad move over here, but unfortunately for myself I wasn't punished for that, but I get punished soon enough. I'm like trying to hide myself, and yeah, perfect hit in the lower glaciers. I'm trying to hide myself, so boom, see? Firing on the upper glaciers? Nope. Not gonna happen. And now I'm like thinking, oh god damn it, he has a good reload. And he puts another good hit into me. And I'm like thinking, who has a faster fire rate? He has, but he tracked me only, so I put one more into him. And count on that he will be greedy, and he is greedy. He's not trying to fall back. He shoots me, but I shoot in the same moment, and well, he bounces off of my turret. You can see. Just check out, yeah. This is the hit that he did. So he bounced off the turret, but I didn't. I was aiming all the time for his lower plate. This gun is very accurate, I have to say. It really can put the shots that you need where you need them. Maybe not when you need them, but where you need them, of course. And that being said, I also, of course, miss. You don't compliment a tank before the sun sets. I-7 going forward. Unfortunately, he moved just enough to be out of my range. My turret was backwards. If I had my turret faced towards the front, maybe I could have, you know, done something. And now we're just... I'm trying to see something. I want to help out those guys on the sides. There's only 2 of them, and there's like 3 enemy tanks. Because there's a E75 somewhere over here also. That's why I'm not going through this, you know. Most people wouldn't think about it and just went through this little wall, this little barrier, and that would be tremendously bad idea. But now I see the E75 is actually over there. Very bad shot on my part because the gun was bouncing, the whole tank was bouncing, so I missed my shot. Pull back, wait for what's happening. E75 is either drawing back or coming towards me, but I see E50. And look at this accuracy. Didn't even properly aimed, and I had a perfect shot. Now I notice the T30 is looking at me, so I'm not eager to show myself to him, you know. That's not the thing I want to do. And if I can, I would prefer to show him my upper glaciers. But on this kind of position, boom! See what I meant? And he was using gold, because he's a stupid douche. A stupid little douche. So he wanted to ensure that I get killed so they can win. Even with this kind of situation, it's not that often that I use gold. Just to ensure kills. Let's speed this up a little bit. Derp. T30 is in a good spot for him, for me, but I'm checking, looking forward, and E75 miss. He missed also. Now it's my cue, because I see the T30 is coming around, but he shot way over there, so Aim at the T30 or the E75. Shot fired, killed. 220mm of penetration is enough. This guy was almost able to shoot me. And a very weirdly shot. And boom, I get hit by the T30. I went a little bit too much back. I have to say my high praises in this video for Mr. E100. Let's check how his name is. Enemy Roots D from Herbal Clan. I am very much appreciating the fact that he's standing there for the whole entirety of the game. So yeah, that's it for the first game. Let's look at the second. So this is the second bit of gameplay. We're playing on... what's the name of this map? Murowanka. We're the only tier 9 vehicle in our team. The enemy team has a Leopard Prototype A, and I feel I'm better than a Leopard Prototype A, but that's a whole different story. And the rest of the teams are composed of mostly tier 8s and a few tier 7s, so pretty good matchmaking. Let's see how it goes. Oh, just pause the game for a second, and let's change the markers, because I'm doing this quite fast, so I always forget this. So I'm walking my way on this ridgeline, trying to find something, cause since we have no heavy tanks coming here, I tracked the AMX, but no one is there to take advantage of the fact. But I have enough. Oh, I'm playing with the 8.8. That's even better. This is my second highest replay, so I was just, you know, looking for a better replay in terms of of experience, and I find a replay with the 8.8. You're gonna see what the E50 with the 8.8 is capable of. It has a very fast fire rate with this gun, but it's still not the thing that you want to have. It's still 100mm of penetration. And I'm like starting being offensive about people that like are they waiting for an invitation. Look at how the teams are compositioned. We killed the AMX. We have 4 fucking heavy tanks hiding behind buildings, not here. This is the corner where you want to fight around. We have spotters, we have tank destroyers, and 4 heavy tanks are going to go the other side of the hill, because that's the obviously good choice. The only thing I can say good about it is the fact that the enemy doesn't have the magical forest, so they may get away with it. And now I notice this Yak 88. And I'm just trying to find the magical place where his frontal wheel is. And there it is. Now you can see the reload time on this gun. I have the same gun he has. Difference is that I know where he is, he doesn't know where I am. So I just continue on pounding exactly in the same spot. This gun has 0.34 accuracy. It should probably hit every single time. I'm waiting for some spots, but nothing is happening. He probably stopped shooting just because... yeah, that's the obvious choice, honestly. And there I spot him again. It looks like I didn't inflict damage, so he probably angled towards... yeah, he's angled like that. Now I started firing again. I put him on fire. Aim for his frontal wheel all the time. I bounce off. And he's a one-shot kill. So I aim at the sides of the tank and finish him off. At that kind of angle you're already going to penetrate with 200 meters of penetration, so I'm thinking like there's only a T28 prototype, probably guessing on the end of this flank, so let's go forward. I'm going forward to help out those dumb heavy tanks. Put a shot in the T32, back out, back in, back out, aim at the hatch. Nicht durch, nicht durch. Yak Panther is screaming fall back, and then we have that. Oh, and the prototype comes around, shoots my viewport. And this is the problem, if we had 1 or 2 heavies, he wouldn't be so cocky. And look how the teams are looking. It's 5-4, we are winning by 1 kill, and my team is either in the city or in the brief part of the forest. And we have 1 tank that isn't even playing, so... another shout out to a great guy that we're gonna do on the end of this battle. I'm gonna start doing something sorry, I'm gonna start doing something like this, that every single battle I have a very bad teammate, I'm gonna point in shame. Maybe at some point one of them will fucking watch this replay and they will see how fucking stupid they have been in that. So now I fall back because I have no support. I'm not gonna even try to, you know, carry a game if no one is supporting me. I have 3 heavy tanks that are sitting here not doing jack for the whole game, not doing anything. Now I try to push up again forward because I'm thinking like, well, they won't do anything, they won't move, they will just, you know, drive out of the building, throw in their sides and slowly die. That's what my team is good for, so let's try to at least salvage the situation and get as much damage as we can. And the enemy team has 2 AMX 5100s, meaning they have 2 auto-loading tanks that can finish off most of our tanks. Which is great. Very great. And I'm just walking this ridgeline trying not to get spotted. The T-28 prototype is still alive. Yak Panther is now like E50 spot. Because he's hidden, but honestly the time was over for him. He had his chance way earlier. I take out Super Pershing, at least 1 gun less on the battlefield. Our 3 tank destroyers are holding up the other flank on their own. Now I was walking badly because I went completely sideways. Upper plate bounce. If I had the Top Gun this wouldn't have happened, but the Top Gun is just a whole different story. I saw that shot, that means that the T-28 prototype is looking towards me. I take a hit in the ammunition rack, I repair my ammunition rack because I see the T-24 is down. Now I know I reload way faster than the T-32. I finish him off, start moving forward. Canaveral pops up. And I'm thinking like, oh, now you 2 heavies have to deal with that guy. He's on full life, I'm not gonna do that. So I continue moving on, going for that T-28 prototype, because that's a big gun and we need to get rid of it. And the guy is aiming for me, he's waiting for where I am. And I'm waiting for the Yak Panzer to get in position. Yak Panther got in position, he killed him. So now I have a clear road, and our tank destroyers finished up the guys in the forest. That's the most stupid place you can try to attack, the magical forest. In my opinion, if you're on this side where we are right now, you should send 2 or 3 tank destroyers and something to spot on the edge of the forest and leave it like that. Don't even try to fight, cause there's no sense in it. Now I spot a tiger. Nom 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 nom. Tiger went down. And as you can see, you will approach like 20-30 kilometers and then you will start slowly more accelerating. So the mobility is okay, but it could be way better. So I'm looking, do I have a shot on the AMX? Nope. Prototype hit in between the buildings, so I'm guessing that's a no-no also. But he's going forward, backward, sideways. Shenanigans! Looking for the AMX behind hill, nope. Moving forward. I wanna kill, god damn it. And completely, I don't know why, but that shot went and it was a high damage roll and I finished him off. So that's it for the games. Now let's go back to the garage. So, finishing up our little review. You saw the 2 bits of gameplay. The first game was with the Top Gun, the second was with the 8.8, which you get as, you know, as you progress into this tank. So my final thoughts on the E50. A good tank, a very good medium tank, leading to a great medium tank, which will be fabulous once I get it. I enjoy it very much. It's one of those tanks that if I have the opportunity I will ram someone and I will have a shit ton of joy for it, with it. It's not like I try to be always competitive with my games. I try to sometimes have fun, and this is one of those things that I have fun with. It's a very good, sturdy machine with everything unlocked. It's just that unlocking is a long and tedious process. But I hope this guide was useful for you. You have some new ideas about the E50. You maybe want to go to the E50M. I will be sure to do a review of that once I have it, and I'll play around 100 and 150 games with it. Same as I will do soonish for the Patton and the FV4202. But yeah, that's it guys. I hope you liked it. Hit the like buttons. Also remember to comment on the video saying that if you liked it then you like it or not. I know Google Plus is a bitch. And check out my live streams. I'm streaming every single day almost, except for the weekends most of the time. From 4 PM up. It depends when I get back home. And I'm live streaming World of Tanks, War Thunder and all the other fun games. So, thank you for coming. I hope to see you guys next time on the battlefield.